On today's wrestling news, is Triple H going to change WWE title designs?
AEW have been asked to mind their language.
How close was Johnny Gargano to signing with AEW?
And the finals for the WWE Women's Tag Team Tournament Championship belt strap thing have been revealed.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil Chambers and I'm joined by Gareth Morgan and Salty Sea Dog to talk all things wrestling. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think of each of today's stories, subscribe to the channel, and links to each story is in the description. Click the timestamps and off you go. But first up, Triple H putting more of his stamp all over WWE and is rumoured to be changing up some WWE Championship title designs. Now, this has come from a long-time belt designer at BeltFanDan on Twitter, who says, the rumour mill says that Triple H making numerous belt design changes. Now, Dan Meltzer, as he is known on Twitter, has designed belts for numerous wrestling promotions and has broken belt design stories in the past, similar things along these lines. However, it's not exactly 100% clear on which titles are going to be changed, if it's just an update, if it's an entire redesign, if it's going to be loads of them or just one of them. Who the hell knows at this point? But it looks like Triple H is kind of putting his stamp on WWE again, like we say. Hopefully he does change some, because some of them have been a long time now. We've had them. The IC belt wasn't exactly like long ago when they redesigned that, but pretty much everything else could do with an update, let's face it. And let's hope he starts with the tag titles first, because they're grim.
Yeah, the men's ones anyway. I think the women's ones are better. I think on NXT
women's
as well.
Ones are fine.
I think they do a job. They do a good job. We like them.
They do.
But I think the Universal Championship's a big one for me. I either scrap it and do another thing, do a World Championship, or bring back the Winged Eagle. Why not? Do something like that, because just having a colourful ones.
If you look at like the NXT title belts and things, you can see the kind of design choices that Triple H obviously prefers. And the NXT title belts have historically been a bit nicer than the main roster ones, especially when it comes to like the North American Championship and things like that. That's a lovely belt.
Beautiful.
So hopefully we can get something a little bit nicer than the big giant WWE logo with a blue strap.
Has he changed the NXT title away from being having its weird little multicolored tinges yet? Because I feel like that's going to probably be pretty high up.
I kind of like that, honestly. When they changed to NXT 2.0, it kind of fits in with the theme. I kind of enjoyed it.
Just little bright coloured it is what it is. It really brings out Bron Breakker's eyes. So let's jump over to the competition now, because there's been a lot of talk over the last week about like TV14 stuff and what you can say, what you can't say, and obviously WWE appear to be pulling back away from that for the time being. It's not 100% confirmed whether they're just going to stay away from it altogether, but just right now they are going to stay in the PG world. But one company that is very much in the TV14 world is AEW, and that's seen a lot of swearing over the last couple of years, a lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of violence. It's all the good stuff, really. But one of those things, the first thing I mentioned, is something that, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter /radio/live/ all the good stuff, Discovery and Warner Brothers are not a big fan of all this swearing at this current moment in time. They actually have told Tony Khan and his promotion that they'd like to see its language toned down a little bit. Just bring it down a little bit. We don't know if that's going to apply to blood as well and just all around violence and savageness, but when it comes to swearing specifically and some of the language that's used, they want to just bring it back a little bit. And with AEW's contract negotiations coming up for this, I think the current deal expires in December 2024, and the actual negotiations are set to commence towards the end of this year, at the start of next year as well. So it's a very pivotal time for AEW right now when it comes to negotiating and just keeping Warner Brothers and Warner Media and everything, just keep them happy. So they definitely have a lot of power in this situation, Warner. So it's one of those things where Tony Khan's probably going to have to sit back and go, okay, Moxley, stop saying the S word, stop saying this, stop giving the middle finger to the camera for a few weeks, just while we get this deal. Once we get the deal, you can start swearing again, and you can start being just as edgy as you like.
Calm down for a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. There's been a lot of it. There's been a lot of it lately.
Yeah. I will say as well, there is a Fightful Select report out there that does say that otherwise, they are very happy with their relationship with AEW. Like, they're happy with the ratings. They've always been really good to work with. The sponsorship deals and things that they've done, there's been a lot of trust in them. And they feel like AEW has pulled all that kind of things off. So it's still a very good relationship that they have together. Just maybe just tone it down just a little bit. Little suggestions that are coming through from the top. And, well, yeah, let's face it, they have kind of been relying on it a lot recently.
Yeah, and it's like any relationship. Even though everything's great, there are some things that you just like to change and just edit slightly. Like I've stopped, I don't know, not shaving my back.
It's the little thing.
Just because of a request. You know what I mean? Just because of a request. And that's it. It's about listening. It's communication. It's key.
Indeed. Love how you're just airing all this in public.
Well.
But speaking of relationships, Johnny Gargano chose a certain relationship over other certain relationships when he moved back to WWE very, very recently. Very excited by this. But obviously there was a lot of speculation about where he would end up when he was like one of the hottest free agents, I would imagine.
He's very good looking. He's very good looking.
Indeed, he is. So obviously he initially rejected a WWE contract offer back in 2021 and took a bunch of time off to be a dad. Well, the Wrestling Observer newsletter has come up with some a little bit tidbits of information about where he was thinking about ending up and how close he was to signing with AEW instead of WWE. So apparently, AEW didn't really that heavily pursue Johnny Gargano, despite the fact that there are people within the company that was obviously very interested in him. Originally, like Gargano, didn't think that there was any kind of future within WWE under Vince McMahon. Quite obviously, like you can see this evidenced by his main roster run. So if you can call it a run, like whatever that was, it didn't exactly go very well. And then there was all the changes to NXT, turning it into NXT 2.0. So he kind of lost where he fit in within the WWE system, and there wasn't exactly a future there on the main roster under Vince McMahon. And Johnny Gargano had also spoken out publicly about how much he wants to wrestle Kenny Omega, and obviously there's only one place that you can do that. And just generally, you'd think that the AEW style is a really good fit for Johnny Gargano. They also had interest in Candice LeRae, but again, it was unclear about how hard they actually pushed for her, or what indeed her current status is and how much more time off she's going to be taking from wrestling, if she's going to be returning at all. Is all kind of out in the open. And then obviously he went to WWE in the end when Triple H took over, and is reportedly now on a much more lucrative deal than he has ever made before. So frankly, good on him.
Yeah.
If AEW aren't really going to chase for him that much, I think right now, like he waited it out quite a while. He waited it out to the right point, to be honest, waiting for Triple H to take over. But I don't think that was exactly on his to-do list. Is like wait for Triple H to be in charge and then I'll return.
He knew all along, Phil.
But in terms of how he would have he obviously would have been received fantastically within AEW. He's an amazing wrestler, but like he could have easily got lost in the shuffle of all the new people that they were hiring. So I think it really worked out for him. And obviously now they're saying he's on the most lucrative deal of his career. Good for you, Johnny Wrestling.
Exactly. There's a lot to unpack on this. Like you said, I think he would have got lost in the shuffle a little bit in AEW. Right now, they're not exactly lost when it comes to super workers that are really over as baby faces and things like that. They've got plenty. They've got loads of people to do with. Whereas WWE are lacking in that department right now. These real super workers that are baby faces that the audience can just genuinely get behind. You saw it when he popped up at like the Royal Rumble and stuff like that. Everyone just loved him straight away. Even if you didn't know who this man was, he came out wearing like Wolverine gear or something. You were like, yeah, that's a cool guy, and he's just babyface fire.
Underdog, babyface, all heart, Johnny Wrestling, the bee's knees, the whole shebang, etc., etc.
Exactly.
I love it. And also, interesting that AEW didn't really make a strong push for both of them.
Yeah.
Because they would both be a spectacular fit within AEW.
Oh, they would, but I think the Candice LeRae thing, again, and that I feel like I've said this a million times at this point, do not underestimate how difficult it is to come back to wrestling after giving birth to another human. A person's been inside you, you've popped them out, and you've got to look after that human, and then look after yourself after you've looked after that. There's a lot there. It's not as easy just going, well, it's out, do a few sit-ups, let's go again. That's not the way it works. So Candice, if she's happy right now, just living the best life and just coming to terms with being a mother, more power to her. Let Johnny bring on the bacon for a little bit and just they can live the best life. And then if she feels like she wants to come back into wrestling and just kick all the ass, I think she's going to do just fine on that main roster because Triple H is a big old fan of the Poison Pixie. So yeah, it's going to be all good stuff. But speaking of the women's division right now, feeling like it's definitely got a new lease on life and a new shot in the arm. The Women's Tag Team Championship tournament thing. I don't know why I can never just like clearly say that. It just feels like there's a lot of words going on. I'm an idiot, really. That's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much.
We decided that a long time ago.
Oh yes, and the fans have in the comment section below, exactly. But it's one of those things where we've now finally got a finals of this tournament after a lot of chopping and changing and strangeness and injuries and just loads of craziness and controversy. Finally got it because we had a last chance fatal 4-way on SmackDown in the wake of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane getting through last week, but then have to pull out because of injury. It's a lot of bad luck when it comes to injuries, but that 4-way culminated in Natalya and Sonya Deville winning it, and then on the same night, which is incredibly cruel, they had to then go up against Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah, and surprise, surprise, they lost. So that was not a massive waste of time at all. But now they're going to be going up against Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I'm so proud of myself that I got that right. That's good for me. That's going to be going down on Raw this week. So we're going to crown new women's tag team champions finally after seemingly a lifetime since Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. My bet, well, what I would have hoped to have happened was whoever wins on Raw after that, Sasha Banks and Naomi walk out and go, hey, there are belts actually, do the whole CM Punk thing, maybe even come back with their own straps, something like that. That'd be really cool. But because it's the go-home show to Clash at the Castle, that feels a bit messy. Like, do you want to have like a really big moment just for a pay-per-view and then not really deliver and follow through with it on the pay-per-view? So maybe they'll rock up at the pay-per-view is what I'm hoping, because we're at the pay-per-view. It's not even called a pay-per-view anymore, it's called a PLE, but I hope they're there.
PLE is not as catchy.
No, it's not. The play.
But yeah, that is also exactly what I hope for, because we are obviously going to be there. And speaking of being there, if you are around in Cardiff or in Newport, it's kind of close to Cardiff, but near enough, on the Friday night before the Clash at the Castle, our show that we're not allowed to call Clash near the Castle anymore, because... I mean, yeah,
they'll come for us.
That out. Because reasons. We have another show the night before in Newport. I'll pop the link in the description below. There's still a couple of tickets left if you want to come and say hello. But on that note, let's move over to your Twitter questions. The first one of the day comes from Adam E. Woodenhood, who says, why doesn't anyone use the atomic drop anymore?
Bloody hurts. That's why.
Because it's stupid.
It's horrible. It's a horrible move.
I know there's like a theory behind the atomic drop of what you're actually supposed to do, but every time you see it, it just looks like someone lifts someone up and then puts them down on their feet again, and then for some reason they hurt.
I thought you meant Theory was the person behind the atomic drop then for a second, because I'm an idiot. No, we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back on stage at one of the shows. I think we'll get Simon Miller to do it to... I don't know.
Simon Miller is a fan of all of these old school moves, so maybe we can convince him to bring it back, and he will single-handedly bring back the atomic drop for all of wrestling. Yeah,
exactly. Or anybody in the crowd that wants to have the nads blown up. So Miller will be on hand.
Speaking of Simon Miller, soft-hearted genealogy and my Twitter thing, and family history, there you go, on Twitter, catchy name there, says, when will Triple H or Tony Khan be smart enough to have Simon Miller on their show? Much more people watch Ups and Downs than these shows. It would be really smart, even if he's a guest for just one show. P.S. Here's our new puppy, Hunter. And there's his new puppy. Lovely, lovely puppy. Hello, Hunter.
Yeah, that's very cute. Yeah, but we need Miller, and we need Zoloctopus as his manager as well, and that should be his Titantron if he goes to WWE or something, is that you have Miller with the octopus on his head going, I think that's what it should be. Like, it should have happened already. Why has it not already happened? You're missing the trick. Khan and
Mental.
No, I know say Khan and McMahon, but it's not McMahon. Khan in the game, okay? Bring him in. He needs to be brought in. He's the best.
He's come close. He has been on AEW TV, sort of, back when Sean Spears was looking for his tag team partner. They did play a video of Simon Miller live on Dynamite, so that was something. So he's come close. I don't know why no one snapped him up. It's absolutely crazy. I have already pitched to be his manager, though, if he does do it. So
he's technically already on. He's technically already on the WWE Network as well, isn't he? Through, I think it was Progress.
He is, yeah, because he does his Progress stuff.
Yeah, so he's kind of getting there. He's on the radar. That's all I'll say. He's on the radar. We should be. One day, it's gonna happen.
My current goal for Simon Miller is to convince him to become a gladiator in the new show.
Oh my goodness!
Starting in 2023.
I thought he was. I thought if you saw the tweet, a lot of us thought that Miller had just become a gladiator, and he should
confirm he is going to try.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna try. He's gonna try. It's gonna be great.
The final question of the day comes from Santasaurus Jr., who says, "Can you tell Salty Sea Dog he's a good boy?"
Ah,
Salty. You're a good boy.
Bad dog. Bad dog.
There you go. And that's the news. Thank you very much for joining us.
God damn it.
Every time. Thank you very much. If you want, you can follow us over on Twitter. You can follow me at Fill My Chambers. You can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
And you can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. And you can follow Salty on Instagram at Fill My Chambers. It's pretty much just pictures of him. And what else? Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you think of all of today's stories, including which belts you want Triple H to redesign first. And watch loads of more videos. Ups and downs for Rampage and SmackDown are coming very, very soon. So make sure you look out for them. Most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.
Bye-bye.